Hey all, it's me, Laura B, at Cracked and See with Laura B. How is everyone today? I am well, thank you. I think I'm well. Yeah, we'll get into that for a little bit. I'll try not to, Nobody wants to hear about your woes. But anyway, so I am here doing yet another Halloween-ish junk journal. This one is brought to you by the Wild Sunflower. In my computer, I have it as Wild Sunflower Junk Journal. I'm not quite sure on if that's part of it or that's just how I made the folder. I'm doing her Dia de la Muertos kit along with her Halloween junk journal. Now, the Dia de la Muertos is just backing paper, but they're gorgeous. So let's get started. And my pronunciation is horrible. My accent is so American. I found this really cool fabric at Michael's at Walmart. It was one of those, little square ones. Fat quarter, I think they are. And I just absolutely loved it and knew what I was going to do with it. And I had this book. Where did my stupid thing go? Hang on, here it is. It was this All Souls Rising by Madison Smart Bell. It was not what I thought it was. It really wasn't what I thought it was. I got it up at the used bookstore, mainly for the book, to be able to alter the book, and thinking that this was more along the lines of a Halloweenish thing and not a docudrama about the Haitian uprising and slavery and all that. I did not realize that. I will be using the book pages, though, some of the book pages for, excuse me, I'm cold, for tags, pockets, that kind of thing, and cover up a lot of it. So, anyway, so let's get started. I just have this to keep it. So let's look at the inside cover. This was, honestly, I don't know what you call it. You open up the book, and on the inside cover, glued down, is paper. And then this is connected to that. And I don't know what this is called. But anyway, it's exactly the same. So I cut it, and then backed it onto cardstock. And then was able to cover up all of my fabric. So we'll look at both sides. So this is what it looks like. I'm not even trying to pronounce that. Saint Domingue. And I have this black satiny fabric, which I glued it on with double-sided tape. And then very little Fabri-Tac, more on the edges. And so these obviously keep that down. And unfortunately, I didn't cut it quite straight across. But the sucker kept unraveling on me. I'm really glad that this worked out the way it was because I really, really liked the way it looked and I did not want to lose it. Here is the back. And I used chipboard for the spine. This will become a bookmark. And it is it's like 2 7/8. So we've got a nice hefty spine. And let's get on to the papers. Here is her Muertos. I've got a thing in my mouth too. That's what I'm going to blame it on that, and that's what I can hear the pronunciation in my head. I cannot get it to come out my mouth hole. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Here are some blackberry stained papers that I did in the layering in the baking pan method. Which I love the way, the grunge factor of it all. I didn't take into consideration the natural sugar thing, part of it, and it was sticking together. So this is the Halloween junk journal. And I really think they just pair really nicely together. I just did these papers with a Distress Oxide, the smush, kind of, get it wet on I have a glass mat, get it wet on there, and you just kind of with it. I did let's see, I did black soot, and then I did the rusty hinge. I think it's a great pumpkin Halloween color, along with candied apple and ground espresso. And just layered it, put some on, let that layer dry, put another one on, dry that layer, blah, blah, blah. I did it also on 24-pound paper. I didn't want anything too thick. These, actually, I think I did on 32-pound without thinking about it. Here is the Halloween, another Halloween, and what I did to do pullouts is I just glued part of it down, left that as it is, not worried about that. Oops. So let's get over here, make sure I'm all on camera. And this is the Day of the Dead. That's how we'll just say it from now on. This is some antique ledger paper. It's quite thick. I got this from Helen. She's a seller on Etsy, and I will link her channel. I got something on some of these pages, but I'll just put pockets on those. I believe this is the Halloween. Yep. And then I chose the Day of the Dead for most of them for centerpieces because I just absolutely love that. Is that not gorgeous or what? And so now we're on the back side. Halloween, more ledger paper. Another Day of the Dead. So again, we're just on the back side. This is the Halloween. I really liked how that looked. My own paper. Again, this is on 24 pounds, so it's very thin. Blackberry stain paper, which it really gives some texture to, because like where it got saturated with blackberry juice and then tore, so you've got some of that. And plus, no matter how much I put it through cheesecloth, and I think that was it. No, I tried a strainer and it gobbed it up, and it still had some seeds in it. So here's the back of that. And here's number 2, signature, middle signature. It has that really nice kind of creepy scarecrow. You know, thank you, Stephen King. Here's some more. I either got this from Helen or I got this from Mitzi. I do not know whom at this point. It might have been Mitzi. And again, I just tried to alter what the flip outs look like. And give it some kind of interest. This is Day of the Dead. Yep, I'm pretty sure. And blackberry, because you know what I do for one, I have to do for the other. Maybe I just try to alternate up the order of which I do it. So it's not like, oh, on this page we're going to see the same thing. I try not to do that. Day of the Dead. My paper, self-explanatory. I may or may not do anything with the white pages. This is the Halloween. I really liked how that looked. So I chose the Halloween for the middle signature as opposed to Day of the Dead. And I just realized it matches the outside, as the other ones will match the inside. So, hey, did not realize I was doing that. So there it goes to show you that I create a pattern even if I try not to. Yep, Day of the Dead, Halloween, and then we have that deep staining from the, and you can see where it tore. There's still some torn paper from the other, couple others on there. I don't know if you can see that. So right there, and then right there. And here's some more of it, so you see how it was layered on there. And it picks up all the gunk on the pans, because, you know, the pans, after you use them after a while, even no matter how well you wash them, unless you completely scour them every time, they're going to get grungy looking. And it picks all of that up. The acids bring up all that gunk and the rust and the whatever have you on there. I don't know if those are the correct terms for it, but... And here you have that. I most likely will remember, hopefully, to, look, it still has a string in it, to put some washi tape down here. Maybe even this Halloween washi, which is all like bloody and macabre. I have several of them. So it shores that up a little bit, gives it a little bit more strength. And here's the back cover of that, which I absolutely love. And then the last one, I just love that, liked the lovers on there. There's that. Lovers again. This is the Halloween. More of that ledger paper. So you see, I usually, again, I have a pattern. The first signature has the ledger paper. This is actually the other half of the ledger paper. And then the middle one, because I don't think I had another one. I didn't want to cut it. So the middle one had something different. And then here again is my paper with the flip out. It goes all the way out there. The Halloween Day of the Dead. More of this gorgeous, gorgeous blackberry stained paper. I mean, I just absolutely love it. How that turned out. I did some yesterday. They are less grunge because I layered them on baking paper and baked them to dry. And I finally this morning, I had to iron all these to iron them flat and get them put away because they were sitting right next to me. And I'm like, why am I smelling something so yummy? I'm looking around, I don't have any food here. And I'm like, this really smells really good. What is it? Well, it's the blackberry stained papers. It smelled like blackberry muffins. So here's another one of these that actually is supposed to, oh no. I just folded it for interest. I just folded it. Got myself confused. So there you have that. And here's the center signature. Because, hello, can we say, someone say gorgeous? I mean, just absolutely gorgeous. And here is this to follow that gorgeousness up with. Again, here is something on this page. You can't see it from this side. So I will definitely put pockets on those. Pocketses. Again, more of this gorgeousness. So I'm wearing shoes today. This is my second video of the day. I talked about it. But I wasn't wearing my boot. Actually, I think I was talking about how I was not wearing my boot at night and walking on my foot. And then I decided to take it off and put on shoes because the secondary issues of being non-weight bearing in 2 weeks in a walking boot have crept in. And I'm telling you, I'm in serious pain. It's my left buttock all the way down to the back of my knee, and then the front of the shin, a couple inches below the knee, all the way down to the top of the foot. And then, you know, the foot, because it's like, hey, now, we haven't been doing this for a while. I love that heart in cage. It looks like it's in a cage. I believe it is. And again, here's something on this paper. I do not know what. And you really can't see. This one you can see a little bit more, kind of. But the other half of the ledger paper, Mr. Wives' Owls, Day of the Dead. I'm assuming these are letters to the dead. I'm not sure. And then the back page. And here she is in all her loveliness. Isn't she gorgeous? So what we're going to do right now, because that was a 15-minute video, which, yay, I kept it short. We are going to do an altered envelope. Now, I kind of oopsied where I cut the back side of this off. I'm making it a flip down, and I cut the back side. So it, I had to do a little monkeying and finagling. I'm sorry. Ugh. Right now it's not liking any way I sit. Yeah. So once I finish this video, it'll be upstairs and laying down. Or at least on the couch where it's slightly more comfortable. Alright, so this is some of her backing papers from the Halloween. And I cut out this. And we're going to glue it down. Excuse me. I had a big old salad for lunch with some cucumbers. And I'm belching up the cucumbers. Which I don't like. I like cucumbers. And I like cucumber water. I just don't quite like belching it up. And as you can see, this is an off print. I was printing, this is a folio, and it printed upside down, the wrong side, so I decided to make use of it. I got this new printer, new to me printer. I talked about it in another video. Today's the video that went up Monday, I think it was. Wow, was it already Monday? And so this new printer is having issues. It's a lemon, where it thinks the paper tray thinks it's empty all the time, even when it's not. So it's hard to, it's really hard to get it to, okay, this is the way I want it. Ooh. So yeah, you know, when you don't use something often, you tend to lose it. Obviously, as the saying goes. And with MS, that is particularly true. And you tend to lose it faster. Now, I am not going to close that yet, so I kind of put glue before I needed to. Because, now this is going to be a little bit tricksy. And what I'm going to do is just glue this part. I'm actually going to ink this. I'm finding it difficult to see. You know, if you don't use it, you lose it, and it's particularly true with MS and probably other chronic illnesses that affect your muscles. So, yeah, I'm really feeling it now. It affects what I can do. And I finally went to just the, Kona next door is having fits. Okay, I want to make sure that I do this the way I want it done. But first, and why is she freaking out? I don't know if you can hear it. The fire station. The fire alarm is going off. Now, let me see. I'm trying to decide. I use this ground. Sometimes I use the Ranger Distress ink, the archival ink, because it gives me a little bit darker depending on what I'm wanting. And I haven't decided whether I want this one or this one. I think I like it doing it that way. We'll do a layer of this and a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I have no idea what that song is from. It's just niggling in the back of my brain. And obviously some song that came out, and I probably didn't need to do the bottom, but I did anyway. Let's think. I'm going to try to rush through this video a little bit because, boy howdy, I need to go lay down. Just make sure I like the way that looks. I will show you when I get this on here. Make sure I pretty much have it on there straight. Looks straight enough to me. And when I get this put on here, and the reason I did it like this, I'm going to go ahead and close this one up. This is where it folds over, and then you're going to have going to be set up into there. So when you lift this up, so you're going to be able to lift this up, which I didn't need to do, but I'm going to. You will see the bobcat. I'm going to close this up now. But first, I'm going to ink. And I am going to use this one. I think it might show up better. Yeah. Again, rusty hinge, I think, lends very well to fall. Come on, get off of me. I think I got it all. Okay. So this side down. And instead of using my tape, it's a small enough area, I'm just going to glue it. Okay. Now, what I do need to do is I noticed when I was futzing with it and going, did I do this right? Did I do this right? Over and over and over and over and over again. I noticed that my little cat is just slightly smaller than in there. So I do want to ink that well. So you do not see it. I'm going to use this darker one. Let's get some ink on here. So how is everyone? I forgot to ask. I am ecstatic that I can walk. You know, I forgot to call my podiatrist. If they're even open on Monday. Oh wait, today's Thursday, and I doubt they're open tomorrow. It's weird hours. I think Friday's a surgery day, I think, if I remember correctly. So I'm gonna just come along here. Do it like this. Okay, got that down. I moved where my rags were because I realized, oops, I realized last week, as I did not wring them out well enough, and they were dripping a little bit of water, that they were dripping right on top of a power cord I have screwed into the wall. Because the only other plug-in is behind me. So I was like, ew, you know what? That's probably not the safest thing on the planet to do. So how's about we fix that? Okay, so I'm trying to get everything out of the way. It's easier for me to see upside down. And I'm going to do it this way. How it works smarter. Instead of smarter, not harder, you can do both. All right. I'm actually going to use, excuse me, if I can reach it, some stick glue. You know how I feel about stick glue, and this is why. You can see the gloopiness, how it globs. That is why I dislike using it. And I was hoping this would be better, but nope. I mean, look at how, it gets. And then that gets everywhere. Which necessitates a lot of this. I don't buy baby wipes for a couple of different reasons. One being I don't like the way they pill up. Alright, kind of saturating that a little bit on Poipus. Alright, let's see what I can get with here. Okay, so that went on there. Quite better than I was, as well as I was hoping, better than I deserve. I'm trying not to shake the camera. I use the arm. And because that is quite fragile there, I will use a little bit of, if I can find the end of it, I will use a little bit of this. That will be covered to a degree, but I still don't really want it showing, so I'm going to bring it down here. This is my problem with envelopes, be it junk mail or regular ones. Clean that off a little bit. I just really gave that a good clean out the other day when I there. And we won't. That was working well there, and so what I need to do, this is going to be glued down to the back, so it will not matter. So I want to come here, and I'm trying to let it dry just a little bit. Because I want it to, right there, I'm going to lightly score it so I can fold it. Once it dries, and I will not do it tonight, but once it dries. Now, I'm thinking and to make sure I have all my I's dotted and my T's crossed. Now, what I do want to do now, I just remembered and thought, I want something right there so that I can see, and that's just like two on. This came off of this. But I don't like the way it looks. No, okay. So actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, excuse the noise, take more of that grungified. It really does smell like blackberry muffins. So this was done by the half ripe blackberries. And I'm going to put it right here. So I can cover that up. And then I can punch a thumb notch in it and get it all glued into place. If I can remember. There it is. Fine on this heap of the desk. I really do this. I think that's going to be good. I think I did it correctly the first time. Looks like it could almost go just as... Oh, I did. Missed it by a hair. There we go. And it all worked out. I just need to erase my pencil mark. So these mechanical pencils have erasers at the end, but every time you use them, it does. The lead comes out further. So pretty soon you get this lead that's sticking out like that far. I'm just obviously doing a light here, but what I want to do is come back through, get a brush. That's good enough. Sometimes I get that motion out of sync and I'll go dot dot and then straight in. Because apparently this is the way you're really supposed to do it to make sure you don't have any big marks where you don't want them. Good enough. Close enough for government work. And all that's going to do is give me some kind of a stabilization and interest. So I can come back and put anything on there, but at least I can get this all glued back together. So I know I asked you how y'all are doing. I'm hoping to have this up tomorrow. I am really liking that tape burner, by the way. Since I have such a hard time, as you've seen, with stick glue. And obviously, double-sided tape is not meant, does not do well on the long haul. Yeah, so we have a little bit extra there. Big whoop, not worried about it. Let me take my rounder here. Now, I learned this, I heard this from somebody whose name I do not remember. You know how I am. But they said they're not worried about getting everything perfectly, the thumb notches perfectly centered, because that'll never happen. And so they just steer into the skid, as they say. So we're going to steer into that skid. There we go. And since that's not going to go there, we don't have to worry about it. We are going to close her back up like this. But before I do that, I'm going to double and triple check that's what I want to do. Because once bitten, twice shy, baby. Or in my case, 15 times bitten, then you get shy. Alright, so that's looking how I'm wanting it to. We will actually glue up the bottom when we do this. So here we go. And I want to go right here and here. I'm going to go along this line. So I take care that I am not gluing where the pocket is going, where I want everything to go. Perfect. And now just a little bit of glue at the bottom. Now one thing I did not do is glue down the acetate. That must be Joe coming back. Okay, so there's that. There's this. I've scored that since I did it on wet paper. You know, fresh glue paper. I'm trying to be gentle with it. Be gentle with the baby. Now, the one thing I could have done, and I didn't even think about it until just now, so as much as I thought through things, I didn't think that through, is how to close it. As in put a closure on it. So there we have it. If I did everything correctly, I have an altered pocket, and I am going to have to come up here and glue this, because I can see already where the acetate is lifting a little bit. So here is this. I don't know which signature this will go into. I'm just making sure that my edges are really varnished down. So here we go. So when it goes in, so when it goes in the pocket, it'll either have a side tut, which I kind of like to do. I have been trying to do more. And then it will lift up, and yet lift up some more if that stops sticking. Whatever that is, it's sticking. You're going to have a pocket there, so we'll have something come out, some tag, and there you have it. So at this point, I'm going to call this a video because it's already been 41 minutes, and y'all, I need to go lay down. Something. I need to do something because I got to get off this whole thing. So I am doing my exercises just like I did when I went to PT for this issue in the beginning. That went away, got stronger, and then, well, 6 weeks of this, here I am. Anyway, again, if you like what you have seen, please, 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 please give me a thumbs up. Drop a comment in the comment box. That gets my little channel noticed. And share with friends, comment, like, subscribe if you haven't. Please, I would love more subbies. Thank you to all the ones I have, my ones have been here from the beginning, and all the new ones who have subscribed. It is greatly appreciated. And on that note, I bid you adieu. Peace out. Bye, guys.